Okay, we're at episode 12 of Vinland Saga, and oh wow, it's getting something serious just happened. I'm not even sure what it was. Spoiler alert, of course. They are traveling. First of all, I guess the prince is a prince. I thought it was a woman. I guess it's still a prince. He's just really effeminate, long hair, and I guess they're making the point that he's soft. And more on that later, but the guys are marching. Askeladd's troops are marching, um, and and um, and Thor Cal's troops are behind them. Askeladd has a scout that has great hearing. They call him the Ear, and he is listening, and he tells them that the troops were 2 days behind. The next day they're a day behind. They're like gaining on them really fast. So Askeladd had already sent out for some reinforcements, unbeknownst to the men. Um, when they reach this point, men are all complaining they're exhausted, and then they reach a point where they see these two people in a fog. Turns out that the reinforcements he asked for, where they are in England, across the river is the country of Wales. So they got boats sent to them to take them across to Wales and out of the reach of Thorkel. And Thorkel was actually impressed by the move. Um, so they go over to Wales, and there's a man helping them march through Wales. They're going to march through the country of Wales to get to where they need to go, as far as getting the prince to where he needs to be. Um, as they march, um, the men are complaining. There's not really a lot of Thorfinn in this one. He's in it briefly, but as they're marching, there was a conversation had with I guess it's a friar or something, a Christian guy. And they were asking him, they're all trying to take their minds off of the marching, and they're asking one another, they're talking about different things to take their minds off of it. And they start talking about gold and women, and they ask the friar, and he says what he wants is beyond all that. What he wants is love, and the men don't understand even the concept of love, which tells you a little bit about them. I'm not sure what the significance of that is or where that'll come about. Well, it'll come into play, but it seemed worth noting. They spent about 5 minutes on that in the episode. So as they're marching, there's another kingdom that they're about to go through. And again, they're going through Wales. There's a bunch of independent kingdoms in Wales. And they're marching towards this one kingdom, and they see the leader of the kingdom. And the leader of the kingdom that helped them get across the river, says, I've already called out to that leader, and he said he's going to let us through. So they get there, they see the guy. Somebody whispers to Askeladd. Askeladd tells the guy that's guiding them, look, this is an ambush. And the next thing they know, they look up and there's archers surrounding them. Not sure who the archers work for. They did show Thorkel during that time. He was way off somewhere else. It was like a cut. It was like they cut away to Thorkel where he was, and he was smiling. So it looks like he had something to do with it. But the episode ends with them being surrounded by archers, and Thorfinn just kind of smirk. I don't know. He's just like he just grunts at it or whatever. But who knows what's about to happen? This is another episode where I'm ready to watch the next one. I watch them every couple of days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I won't watch this one until Wednesday, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens in episode 13. It is interesting that they keep showing deeper and deeper aspects of Askeladd's personality. He has a conversation with his second in command, which I need to learn his name, where he's asking about the prince, and Askeladd is like, I know men, I can look at men and tell, he says he's been with criminals for 40 years, so he can look at a man and tell his worth basically. And he was like, he looks at the prince and he sees that the prince is basically a weakling. You know, second in command says, well, to be fair to the prince is still a kid. And Askeladd says, yes, story hasn't been written. The second in command says, what do you mean by that? And then the conversation ends. So there's a lot of kind of insights into the men in the shows. It's one thing that I've noticed. If this is indicative of anime, it's a very good. It's a very entertaining and enlightening way of showing people's personalities that you don't see a lot in other things. And most movies, what you see is everything has something directly to do with the plot immediately, especially if it's a show. They might veer a little bit, but not very much. In this show, in Vinland Saga, they do a lot to give you insight into a person's personality that it might not even be something pertinent to the plot, but it gives you a lot of information about that person, and it helps as you're watching the show. Anyway, I am excited about episode 13, and can't wait to see it.